How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another FTB Infinity Evolved Expert Mode episode. Hope you guys are enjoying this series so far. If you guys have, you guys know what to do. Smash the like button if you haven't already, and consider subscribing with that. Let's get into today's episode. So, at the end of the last episode, we finished off our Enderman spawn, but you're probably noticing a couple things are missing. Also, a couple things have changed. Number one being we added a world anchor, so that we keep this whole thing chunk loaded. Second thing being, I added ourselves a sound muffler, so that way we don't have to hear, when we're here, we don't have to hear all the Endermen. The second thing we added was full glass just all the way around, just so I could check on our progress when we need to. Let me refill some things. Another thing I did is I expanded the area so it is a full 7x7, and then I also went ahead and made ourselves the stabilized mob spawner from Draconic Evolution. This is just fairly easy. If you need a refresher on how you go get one, let's see, where is it in here? You just find yourself any vanilla spawner and you take yourself a draconic core, you stabilize it, and you get this thing. But if we go ahead and place this down, let's actually go ahead and get everything placed back. I had to turn it off just so that way. I believe it doesn't require power. Oh, there we go. So as you can see on the right hand side, it shows, well, actually, if we click on it, it shows us a few things. It shows us that it requires players to be here. It also does not ignore spawn requirements, and it's a tier 1 spawner. So if we hold shift, if we look at the bottom right now, it tells us what we need to remove those things. Or rather, upgrade them. So we have ourselves a wyvern core. We also have ourselves an awakened core. And what those do is those increase the spawn speed and the frequency. And I think the amount. And then the nether star removes the need for us to be here. And then the golden apple, also known as the notch apple, that took me probably 30 or 40 minutes of trying to figure out what the hell they meant. Because when you type notch apple in, nothing comes up. Then I was like, well, a golden apple would work. But it needs to be an enchanted golden apple. Then we plop that in, and that just means it doesn't have to have any light requirements, doesn't need any funky things like that. And so initially I was like, okay, cool, but how do I know this is working? Because you need a soul to activate it. So I had some extra pig ones lying around from when we farmed up a bunch of the pigs that we needed for the resurrection. I now have a crap ton of pork. I don't know if I can, yeah, I can't access it in here, but when we go back to the base here in a minute, I will show you how much damn pork we have. It's a lot. I probably will never run out of pork. I'll probably start using that as food. Anyway, I'm pretty sure this doesn't require power, but I just left the Tesseract here, and because the Tesseract powers our mob grinder, which, by the way, the power doesn't seem to be flowing. Is it because of that? Yeah, okay, there it is. I just temporarily disabled it because of so many pigs that were spawning to the point where the mob grinder couldn't keep up. But that was partially because I disabled it so that I could clear this out. Anyway, so I'm going to go throw another sound muffler just up top. And then getting the Enderman mob soul took literally probably 2 hours. Because I believe it's a drop of 1 in 1,000. So I went ahead and upgraded Reaper to Reaper 5. So that way I could get the best chance I could. And I'm pretty sure it literally took 2 hours. I had to go around and kept clearing it. I guess I could have built a different mob farm. Like a vanilla one to try to get just more Endermen. But we ended up doing that. Definitely I recommend other avenues of trying to get it. So now, as you can see, tons and tons of Endermen are going to spawn. And I did discover we do get quite a few dimlets, but now this is going to mean tons of XP, tons and tons and tons of XP, tons and tons of Ender Pearls, and then sometimes if I forget what variant of Enderman spawn, but the ones with the little names, I think those are from Thaumcraft, and then you can get the little goodie bags and things. So I'm going to just fly out of here because it is a little bit loud, even with the sound mufflers. So I'll fly over here. But as you can see, we can get quite a few Endermen. I'm not sure why the heads are dropping up top. think that's a visual glitch. I don't think they're actually up here. Yeah, no. But as you can see, tons and tons of experience just pouring into the barrels. We're already at 100k there, another 100k there. So it is getting quite a lot. And we can just take a look in here and see how much it's moving. This single vacuum hopper isn't able to move all of that experience. We could probably add more vacuum hoppers to handle it. We might have to end up doing that or figure out a different way to handle the XP. But as you can see, there are dimlets getting farmed, which is the main goal of this, right? It wasn't for the XP, and it really wasn't for the ender pearls. It was for the dimlets, which we're going to be getting a lot of. I'll probably have to figure out a solution, though, for the XP, because that is quite a lot. And I surmise that it will probably cause some sort of server lag. I also need to go ahead and make a lever to toggle this, because I don't think I have the stuff for a lever on me. Do I? No. I have a lot of other random stuff, but not a lever. But yeah, so I'm going to want to try to get a lever made just so that way I can turn this on and off. So that way it's just not perpetually running, because I feel like this will eventually cause some sort of lag. But in the meantime, I'm going to head back to base. Then we're going to take a look at what I kind of want to start setting up / focusing on as we wrap things up and kind of go over those plans. So I will see you guys back in the overworld. And we're back here in the overworld. So let's take a look here at... Yeah, we have 16,000 pork chops, by the way. I probably let it run for maybe 20 minutes. Actually, I don't even think it was that long. But yeah, I don't think we'll ever need pork chops. I'm curious how quickly are ender pearls stacking up. Yeah, needless to say, I don't think we're going to ever run out of ender pearls. And then if we take a look at the dimlets. So we're getting unknown dimlets. I don't know if there's a way to increase drop chance of a particular item. Basically farm for it, like direct farm for it. However, it seems to be in between decent. I mean, we're getting more dimlets than we were before with the upgrades, but we're also definitely getting a lot of the other byproducts. So we'll have to make sure that we don't overfill anything. I might end up having to give ender pearls a deep store, which will probably solve a lot of our issues. We're not going to need our sword anymore. I don't think we're going to need the pickaxe, but we'll figure that one out. Okay, so the things I wanted to go over is as we draw down the series, because we are definitely getting near what I would consider the end of the series. So I have 2 goals for the end of the series. Goal number 1 is I want to finish all of these quests. I want to complete the quest book 100% in totality. Second thing I want to do is get all of the creative items that we can. I believe there's 4. There's a creative flux capacitor. There's a creative energy cell. There's a creative portable tank. I thought there was a 4th item. I don't think we can make the creative jetpack, right? No. Oh, and the creative mana pool, I believe. I think that's what this is. Yes. So I want to make the creative mana pool, the creative energy cell, the creative portable tank, and the creative flux capacitor. Those are the 4 items that are creative items that I want to create. So those will probably, as you can see, they're quite expensive. Honestly, we could probably make or get very close to a lot of these items that we're going to need. However, there's definitely some things we don't have enough of. As you can see, to make the portable tank, we need 4 portable creative energy cells. All right, so that in and of itself is quite expensive. Those don't really change. We'd probably make the creative flux capacitor first, actually. Yeah, that will probably be the first one we make, so it's cheaper. And then the mana pool one needs a tank. So as you can see, we're going to need quite a few of these creative energy cells. So we're going to have to make sure that we have all these components either automated or highly farmable. Diamonds and glowstone, those shouldn't be a problem. Honestly, I think the hardest part here is probably going to be gas tiers. So we might have to set up a gas spawner. So that probably means setting up more spawners and more things of that nature, which shouldn't be too difficult. But I do want to get all those things kind of planned. Now, those are my two primary goals, right? Create all the creative items is number one. And number two is to finish the quest book, right? Now, that isn't saying that I'm not going to look at some of the other mods we haven't touched yet. I don't think we're going to do bees. I've put it off so far into this series that it feels not fun to try to do it now. If that makes sense, like going through and trying to get these to breed out to be what I want them to be, because even using the Oblivion frame and even using soul frames, it is such a pain in the butt trying to get these to be bred right now, that I feel like we're so far into the series that it feels like we're taking a step back with these, just because really what I'd be doing them for, the items that we'd be doing to get from them, are things we don't need, or there's other methods of getting them. For instance, our quarry, I wouldn't use any of these bees really for any resource farming, just because the quarry alone has been able to farm everything I needed. So I probably won't do bees. So anybody who has been wanting me to get into apothecary, or it's not apothecary, I think that's a different mod. Where are these from? Forestry. The forestry bees, unfortunately, we probably won't get into them in this series, but I will try to make a note of that, so that way we can do them in another series. And I'll try to do it that way, and then obviously the gendistry way, so that way we can kind of skip through some of the harder portions. And same thing goes for really any mod that I haven't touched this series, is I do want to do them at some point, but there's a lot of mods that just either aren't going to get used because there's a duplicate, or there's something that does that job very similar. So if there was a mod in this pack that you really have been wanting me to see, explore, leave a comment of that down below, and I'll try to make note of it, just so that way in the future mod packs we play, if it contains that mod, I'll definitely try to do a little segment on it, just so that way we can kind of go over it. Because like I personally really like immersive engineering, but I haven't really needed it this mod pack, which I was a little bit surprised. I definitely want to go deeper into that. I like the mod. I just didn't really need it this pack. I'm trying to think if there was any other. Applied Energistics is another one that to me it's nice. I really like it, but I've never really gotten into the whole auto crafting and things, so I don't know if we'll do that. We'll probably not. Come to think, we probably won't do it this series. Again, it's one of those things we'll do next series. So let's take a look and see what quests we can get done. So it looks like we need to make a tree tap and get some rubber. Well, I think we can do that. Pretty sure we've already made a tree tap. Actually, you know what? I don't think we have, because we've always been able to just get the rubber from when we chop the trees down. So let's see. What do we need to make a tree tap? This feels so basic. I feel like this is like the first quest anybody who's ever done IC2 is. There's that. I know we have rubber, but it might want the IC2 rubber. Let's see. Sticky resin. Unless we got the sticky resin. I don't know what we got the sticky resin from. But we can just do it this way, so we can get that quest. But that's pretty much just going to be the goals going forward, is completing the quest book, which probably will take no more than 1-2 episodes. Max. Okay, and then I guess let's claim that, and there's that fun sound. Ball of moss. Let's see, what do we need for that? Probably, oh, really nothing that expensive. Nope, almost made the wrong thing. Yay. Okay. Slots aren't enough. Knapsack. Let's see, what do we need for that? This actually probably would have been a really useful item. Iron rod. Okay, so that's something that we're gonna have to do. But as you can see, a lot of these quests are gonna probably be pretty simple. I'm trying to think, what are some harder ones that might take us a while? Actually, I guess let's start here. So we will have to make the creative items anyway, it looks like, if we want to complete the book. I'll also have to go through and I don't know why that didn't check off. Unless it, no, it doesn't look like, unless it, you know what? I wonder if it's dependent on this. Oh, but no, because that one's done. Unless it's a weird thing where it's like this one's dependent on these and these are dependent on, no, because we did the bow. Requires, okay, so there's other quests that need, and I don't know, unless, yeah, no, unless these also need to be done. Well, we have the armor and we have that, so then that would have said more than one. So I'm guessing there's just other quests we have to do before that one unlocks. Fair. Yeah, so as you can see, the quest book does require us to do the creative item, so we are going to get to that at some point. So with that, I think we're going to call it today, or call it here today. I know this episode was, again, a little bit weird in kind of how we structured it, because it was mainly us kind of revamping what we did last episode, but also kind of looking at what we're doing going forward. I apologize if it wasn't as in-depth as some of the other videos, but right now I'm just kind of setting this stuff up. And also just a couple things from behind the scenes. I start school in about a week. I go back to college, which is going to be fun and great. So I've, of course, been working on getting some of those things prepared and also just working on other projects before I go back to school and my time gets eaten up and I can't do any of those projects anymore. So it's been a little bit tough trying to get everything planned out and balanced in Minecraft. And because I know the series is slowly getting closer to that end, closer to that finish line, it has been drifting towards the back burner in terms of the series right now. So that's partially why the depth of the last couple episodes have seemed to have fallen off, at least in my opinion. I'm not sure from your guys' perspectives, but of course, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns for me, leave those down below. And with that, if you haven't already, subscribe, as it really does help with the channel. And if you learned something or if you liked something, you know what to do. Smash that like button if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one. Peace out.